Hello, today I will read Exodus chapter 19. In chapter 18 we saw that Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, he gave some advices to Moses, and Moses accepted. He was not, he has no pride of himself or being so selfish, but he was a humble man, and he listened to his father-in-law for the good advices, and did everything he said. Now let's continue with chapter 19. In the third month after the Israelites left Egypt, so third month, on the very day they came to the desert of Sinai. After they set out from Rephidim, they entered the desert of Sinai, and Israel camped there in the desert in front of the mountain. Then Moses went up to God, and the Lord called him from the mountain and said, "This is what you are to say to the house of Jacob and what you are to tell the people of Israel. You yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession, although the whole earth is mine. You will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words you are to speak to the Israelites." So Moses went back and summoned the elders of the people and set before them all the words the Lord had commanded him to speak. The people all responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has said." So Moses brought their answer back to the Lord. But Lord, how that the Lord didn't hear them or what? He did, but Moses was their correspondent, or how can I say? It was very interesting that God didn't show himself to all the Israelite people like with Moses, but just with Moses. Is it that a good thing or not? I really don't know. Or I really don't know why God didn't talk with all of them like with Moses. I don't know why God made so much difference between Moses and the others, and he worked with Moses and Aaron, and to the others so not that much, or not at that level. But now, from after Jesus came to the earth, after Holy Spirit came at Jerusalem, and fulfilled all those first Christians, 120, and not just them. After that, 3,000 of people, and then so much more. um, we can have a relationship with God ourselves, and we don't need an intermediator like a man, but we need Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jesus Christ was the man and the God himself at the same time. After the yeah, let's continue. And the Lord said to Moses, "Go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow. Have them wash their clothes and be ready by the third day, because on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people." Wow. So he will show himself to all the people somehow. But limits for the people around the mountain, and tell them, "Be careful that you do not go up the mountain or touch the foot of it. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. He shall surely be stoned or shot with arrows." Oh, so God will come, but you cannot approach him. Not a hand is to be laid on him. Whether man or animal, he shall not be permitted to live. Only when the ram's horn sounds a long blast may they go up to the mountain. After Moses had gone down the mountain to the people, he consecrated them, and they washed their clothes. Then he said to the people, "Prepare yourself for the third day. Abstain from sexual relations." On the morning of the third day, there was thunder and lightning with a thick cloud over the mountain and a very loud trumpet blast. Very interesting, but sexual relations, even if you are married, there are moments in which God is telling them to abstain from that. But wasn't it God's will to love the love between husband and wife? Yeah, but I don't know. And is it a sin? It's not. So why? I really don't know. But in the Old Testament, every you should be purified with your body too. So yeah, somehow. On the morning of the third day there was thunder and lightning, with a thick cloud over the mountain, and a very loud trumpet blast. Everyone in the camp trembled. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace. The whole mountain trembled violently, and the sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder. Then Moses spoke, and the voice of God answered him. The Lord descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses went up, and the Lord said to him, "Go down and warn the people so they do not force their way through to see the Lord, and many of them perish. Even the priests who approach the Lord must consecrate themselves, or the Lord will break out against them." Yeah. You could approach God, but you should consecrate yourself, and not you should not go at God like normal, because it was not a normal thing. You should be saint, and yeah. Moses said to the Lord, "The people cannot come up Mount Sinai, because you yourself warned us. Put limits around the mountain and set it apart as holy." The Lord replied, "Go down and bring Aaron up with you. But the priests and the people must not force their way through to come up to the Lord, or he will break out against them." So Moses went down to the people and told them. Or he will break out against them. God is telling again and again as a third person. I mean, God is not telling Moses, or I will break out against them, but the Lord will break out against them. If you say the Lord, who are you who are talking with me, if not the Lord? Yeah, it's very interesting, the person of God. Yeah, as we believe that, we not just believe, the Bible said, showed God himself as a third person, the Father, the Son, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. But now sometimes it's very interesting that who was the one who was talking with Moses, and why is he telling the God as not himself, but as he, as a third person? Okay, what we can learn from this chapter is, if you want to meet God, we must prepare ourselves, we must abstain from the sins, and to be free from the sins, and we must consecrate ourselves to can approach God. May the God bless me, protect me, enlighten me in the next chapter too, and if He wants, you will see me there too. God bless you all, and goodbye.